Hi everyone, my name is Tobias Hann. I'm the CEO of Mostly AI. 2023, the year of generative AI, the year of LLMs, large language models, foundational models, AGI, you name it. And we already today heard a lot about it. I asked ChatGPT to illustrate that, and this picture came out of it. It's mostly text data. It's mostly images that we hear now. And we call this unstructured data. And yes, the majority of data that is actually collected today by companies is unstructured data. Gartner estimates anywhere from 80 to 90%. Also, here at the conference, the majority of data that's going to be collected is going to be unstructured data. It's going to be the video recordings that we have right now, the images, and you can see all of that here. And that's great data, right? It's fantastic data. We're going to use those images on our LinkedIn posts. It's valuable data. But the reality is that the real lifeblood of a business is actually structured data and has been for many, many years. Structured data is anything that you can put into a tabular format, anything you can put into Excel, into a database. It's customer feedbacks and ratings. It's CRM data. It's product catalogs, website traffic data, and so forth. And also here at the conference, if you think about it, what's the real meat here? Well, it's the information about you. Who is here, your email addresses, all those kind of things. Imagine running a conference without a registration system, without a system where you see who is attending. So that's the lifeblood of business. And the reality is, though, that there are some challenges with structured data, quite a bit actually. One is data is restricted. Data is restricted because of privacy reasons. A lot of structured data contains what we call PII, personal identifiable information. Structured data is also biased and has certain incompleteness to it. And thirdly, data is just not there. Sometimes you just don't have the right data. Data is missing or incomplete. And that's where Gen AI for structured data comes in. That's where Mostly AI comes in. What we do is we create, with our AGI algorithms, we create what's called synthetic data. Synthetic data is an artificial version of data. It's a made-up version of data. It's not real data, but it looks and feels like real data. And we use machine learning algorithms, we use Gen AI to create that synthetic data. It's important to understand that synthetic data is not mock data. The term has been around for quite some time, for many years, and in the past we would just describe mock data as synthetic data, so rule-based artificial data. But machine learning generated synthetic data is much more than that. It's much more realistic. It contains all the statistical properties of your real data. And synthetic data is also smarter than data anonymization. One of the features of synthetic data is that it's fully anonymous. Because it's newly created data from scratch, it doesn't contain any one-to-one link back to the original data, and that's why it's fully anonymous. And it's much more private by design, than traditional ways of anonymization. So, structured synthetic data is as good as real data. It's statistically representative, highly realistic, truly anonymous at any volume. You can create as much data as you want, and it looks like real data. You can think of synthetic data as structured data on steroids. You take actual data that you have in a company, you combine that with some general knowledge that's coming from LLMs, with domain expertise, things that you know about data, and you put all of that into our platform, where you then create synthetic data. And then that synthetic data is used by what we call data consumers in organizations. And it could be people that work with data, product managers, designers, but also algorithms, other systems and applications. Where do we fit in? We connect to various data sources, database systems, cloud data warehouses, and so forth. Typically, there's some sort of pre-processing involved. Then the data is synthesized. It's a fully automated process, again, using Gen AI and machine learning models. And then the data is consumed for various use cases: business intelligence, training of machine learning models, data collaborations, and so forth. Our platform is super easy to use, a very easy to use user interface and user experience. We have inbuilt privacy mechanisms. I mentioned that privacy is one of the benefits of synthetic data. We have detailed QA reports, so quality assurance reports that tell you and show you how good the synthetic data is that you created. And it's on data platform exploration that's also possible with our system. What are the use cases for synthetic data? Quite a bit. Basically, anything that you would have done with real data, with real structured data, you can do with synthetic data. So that's data democratization, giving access to data to many more people inside of an organization. Cross-border and enterprise data sharing. Whenever you have several different legal entities, it's quite difficult to share data across those legal entities. You can use synthetic data for that. Product design and development. If you're a designer, if you're a product manager, and you want to develop your products really in a data-driven way, you need to have data to do that. Synthetic data is a great way to do that. Test data. Software development, of course, needs typically some staging, some development environments. There you need data, and you don't want to use production data in those environments. You can use synthetic data instead. Everything around machine learning, training machine learning models, training AI, using synthetic data to get the right data to actually train your models. And then fairness and explainability. Synthetic data can help you with correcting for biases, again, and for fairness issues with data, and also help you explain models by providing certain different data sets to stress test and explain models. We've been the leader in the space, Gen AI for structured data. We've been around since 2017. Started back in Austria, where our headquarters is. Also now have an office in New York City. We're a team of about 45 people, 20+ nationalities, and raised more than $30 million in funding from some of the investors that you see here. Our customers are typically large banks, large insurance companies, telecommunication providers, companies that have lots of data, that contains sensitive information, that contains information of individuals, where there are challenges that I mentioned before around accessing the data and working with that data. And I want to leave you with this slide here, with this thought here. Gartner predicts that in the future, actually, the majority of data that will go into the training of machine learning models, that will go into AI, will be synthetic. And the reason for that is, yes, it's fully anonymous data, but it's also just much more flexible data. It's data that you can create at scale as you need it. And so by 2030, the majority of data that we'll see that will go into the training of machine learning models will be synthetic. I'm around here at the conference, looking forward to connecting with all of you. We're not raising at the moment, but always good to make some connections. And also, actually, if you want to try it out, creating synthetic data is super easy and straightforward. Go to our website, sign up for a free account, and create synthetic data. Thank you.